Hey, this is O with CLO Ed TV. Today is one of those videos where I'm jumping straight into it. So last week I did a video on the importance of getting into solar, and I realized that I never really talked about this little nifty doohickey thing that I made. And what this does is it takes Ryobi batteries and converts it into electricity you can use for appliances. How I designed it is I made it so you can plug in a Ryobi battery, and as you can see right here on this meter, if I can get in close enough, it activates this meter and you can plug in your cigarette lighter devices or any other appliances that you may need. So for the little setup, just a quick demonstration, I've got the Ryobi battery plugged into my DIY voltage regulator inverter, and then I've got a DC to AC converter plugged up to a cord that is housing a light right above me. So let me show you how that looks with it powering on. This is with it lights off. So I've got the switch right here, so you can see in 3, 2, 1, lights on. All right, little decent amount of light, right? And as it stays on longer, it'll warm up and get brighter. But let's go ahead and cut it off. 3, 2, 1, and lights out, lights on, lights out, and lights on. What do you guys think? Really what I want to do is give a little backstory behind why I designed this. So basically, I do a lot of handiwork and I have a lot of Ryobi tools. I use Ryobi because it's affordable and decently robust enough for the price that you pay for the tools. And I had a bunch of these batteries lying around. Now normally I buy the aftermarket batteries because they are just as good to me and they are a lot cheaper. And so what I thought about is, well, if I ever got a power outage and my portable battery banks run out, why not use these little guys right here to power what I need? And that's exactly what I did, guys. So somewhere in a couple clips in this video, you're going to see me open this guy up so you can basically see the composition. But it's real simple. This is a 3D printed piece, and I will show you in this slide right here where I got it from on Thingiverse. And all you do is buy the little prongs that go into here from Amazon, and you clip it to this, get you some screws, screw it down, and you got yourself a voltage regulator. And you can convert that voltage to use what you need for your appliances. So to make it simple, this allows you to take a drill battery like so, and I got plugs down here, and take a car inverter, plug that in. And as you can see, the green light is on, and let me see if I can cover the little adjuster, and you can see that that green light is on. And this particular one is 150 watts, and it only costs about 12 bucks on Amazon. So you got a nice, neat package that you can take and charge your laptop, power a television, and many other things. So why don't I stop talking and show you some clips of what this little setup can do. All right, let's check it out right here. I really never had a chance to explain what makes the system tick. So this is the little module that regulates the voltage coming in from the battery, as you can see from this line, and then converts it into 12 volt DC to this cigarette lighter adapter. At the top, you have your voltage meter or your battery reader. This lets you know the percentage of voltage, also what percentage of battery capacity that you have left. This part here is the tower for the Ryobi battery. It has a positive and negative lead, and this is a 3D printed assembly that you can make, and I'll leave the link online and in the description below where you can actually 3D print this adapter. I wanted to go over some important parts of this voltage regulator. So if you look here, one thing you're going to see is your negative and your positive out, which leads to the cigarette lighter. Over here is where your power input is, and 18 volts is coming in through here. So yellow represents the positive and blue represents the negative on this side. Let me zoom in and show you how you adjust both the amperage and the voltage on the opposite side. Okay, if you look here very carefully on the board itself, you'll see a letter named CV and also another letter named CC. CV stands for the current voltage, and the CC stands for current, so that would be the current amperage. So for example, if you want to make the battery stretch as long as you want to turn this dial down as low as you can with the devices you use. But if you're charging a laptop, you're gonna have to crank this up. Over here, this controls the voltage out. So you can dial a Ryobi battery that is 18 volts all the way down to 12, 10, or whatever you want by turning this dial down here. Just keep in mind, the more you turn it down, the more power loss and power dumping you're gonna get, because it's dumping the heat energy down here, the excess energy made, so that way it can adjust here. All right, so let's get this thing assembled and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so this is the initial design that I came up with. It's just a basic housing stacked up here. This was cut with the CNC, simply just wood. And I 3D printed this adapter. And like I said, I'll leave the link in the description below if you want to check it out. Also added a battery voltmeter here and the cigarette lighter output. So let me show you how it works. All right, all you have to do is take a Ryobi battery and push it in. And it's just that easy. Let me take you on this side. And you can see now that it's lit, you can turn the screen on and off. But I'm just going to pull the battery and I want you to watch right here. And let's see if I can get it up. And there it goes. So you know there's no tricks or no strings here. There it goes again. And there's nothing holding it up. So we're going to zoom in here so you can see the numbers. Okay, so the graphic depiction here is showing you what the actual battery capacity is. And as you can see, it's full. It reads 100%. It also reads 20.4 volts. And this is correct because your 18 volt battery should be stronger than 18 volts, okay? And then down here, it also gives you a battery temp. And right now, the battery's sitting at 28 degrees Celsius. Let's go ahead and hook up some accessories to this thing. Here's an example of devices that need constant power. Over here, we have a PlayStation Mini, a 3 temperature light. We also have a portable fan, an air purifier, and also a television. On this side, we have some examples of some items with internal batteries. So we have a fan with a built-in light, headphones and speakers. We also have a flashlight that charges with the cigarette lighter, and also a candle light. So these are examples of internal power items. I also wanted to go over some items that really help to expand your capabilities when using this 12 volt system. So here we have the cigarette lighter with 4 USB ports. We also have a USB hub with switches on each one. And we also have a power inverter that converts 12 volt to AC, and it's 150 watts. So these 3 items are very inexpensive and great to use with this type of system. Okay, to demonstrate the 12 volts coming out of the cigarette lighter, this should not work because hey, this takes 12 volts while the battery is 18 volts. But I can prove that that conversion is working. So I'm going to plug this in. And as you can see, this light turned on, this red light. And the cool thing about this flashlight is it will turn green once it's charged. And you can take it out. And there you go. You've got light. Okay, so your first level accessory, what I would consider would be, is this cigarette lighter adapter with 4 USB hubs. And there's so many of these cigarette lighters that do so many different things. But let's plug this thing in here and get some devices plugged in. Okay, if I have my amperage set right, as you can see, I'm charging the phone already and the air purifier is running. And we've got a little bit of light coming from here, but let's go ahead and crank it full blast. So now we got the light on. We got the fan, if I can find the switch. There we go. So we literally have 1, 2, 3, 4 appliances running, and being that this air purifier has a USB port out, we can add a 5th item, and I'm about to plug that in. And let's get that in. And then the 5th item is charging my PS3 controller. So literally you have 5 items here running off of this one battery. And let me zoom in so you can see the battery usage here. Okay, so you can still see here that it's at 100% at 20 volts. It's teetering between 20 and 21. And the temperature of the battery went up from 28 to 32 degrees Celsius. But look at all this, guys. So, got my phone literally charging, an air purifier running, a fan, a light that is fully on blast, and I can switch the actual temperature color there. You also have a PS3 controller charging. So literally you can do all of this off of this one Ryobi battery. Now isn't that something? Okay, so you might want to see something a little more powerful running off of this battery. and I'm about to show it to you. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, on my left hand side I have my DIY power inverter with a Ryobi battery, 6 amp hour. Here is that power inverter that I showed earlier, which is 150 watts, which is more power than what we need. I also have a PlayStation Mini with controller, but what we're going to do a little different here is we're using this bad boy right here. It's a kilowatt meter. So you take your kilowatt meter, plug it in here, and it's going to show you some numbers. Now, this is right now sitting dormant. Right now we're at 11.6.3 volts. Amperage of 0 because we're not really using any power. Wattage is also 0. Hertz is 59.6 hertz. And this also tells you how many kilowatt hours you're actually using. All right. Okay, let's see if we can do a crazy grand finale and see if we can run everything you see here on this battery. Starting with the TV first. All right, and we have power on the TV. Let's try the PlayStation. PlayStation is running. Very cool. All right, let's see if we can select some games. Okay, right now it's running Spyro. Let's see if we can max it out. So right now we just turned on the air purifier. There's a blue light there. All right, what's next in line? Let's see. And the switch that I'm hitting, I'll just show you so there's no jokes in this. All right, next up is the light. Let's see if I can get this kicked on. Bam, and the light is on. Next switch. What do we have that turned on? What's number 3? Oh, the PlayStation controller. All right, now it seems like, let's see if we can turn on 4. Okay, and 5, 4, 3. Okay, it seems like everything is charged on, but it does seem like it gives like a little max tap out. So right now we've got the fan going over there. We've got the light going on. We've also got our dehumidifier, but let's cut off the light because that's probably taking up the most power. And let's cut that off and see if we can get, okay, yeah, so now the phone is charging. And let's see if we can get the PlayStation controller to charge. So let's turn off the phone and then turn on the PlayStation controller. Let's turn off the devices until, okay, yeah. So I had to shut off 2 devices in order for the PlayStation controller to charge. So it may be the limitations of the brick itself here, but I believe if you can get more output on the brick, we should be able to run everything on here. So let's go ahead and look and see what our kilowatt meter says. So right now we're sitting, if you can see here, if I can get it in the light, okay, there we go. Let's look at the watts we've got going on. All this running, guys, all this running only takes 12 to 20 something watts. And right now we're running 22 watts. So let's see. We can run our fan. We can also run charge our phone. We can also have a light going on. So it just all depends on what you want to power. So we got all this charging off of this one Ryobi battery, and it's still going pretty good. So we're at 26.2 watts with all this on. Isn't this amazing? All right, so let's look at the battery and see what the state of the battery is. Okay, yeah, it has jumped down. So let me get that into the camera. Okay, let's see if I can get that cleared up. Okay, now, as you can see, we're still full, but our voltage has went down to 19.1, and our battery temp has went up to 34. But as you can see, guys, this is plenty of power to run all these devices you see here. It's amazing that all this can be run from this one little 6 amp hour 18 volt battery. So imagine what you could do if you link these up with multiple ones, or just got creative with your own ideas. If you feel like you're pretty savvy with DIY projects, I will leave links in the description below for all the electronics and everything that I use for this build. And eventually I'll also leave my project files with CNC files and 3D print files. And so that way, if you wanted to actually build this DIY inverter, this is a 1.0 for me, you can definitely build it for yourself and use it. Although I assume no liability for the design, because the rest is up to you. If you would like to see a full build from scratch, how I made this guy, or maybe make a new version that can hold multiple batteries, just drop it in the comment section below and I'll see if I can tinker around with it. And for those of you who are new, definitely check out my gaming channel down here. And if you haven't seen my video on why you should invest in solar, click on this link right here. And also you'll see a playlist down here where you can check out more of my videos. Alright guys, I always appreciate you supporting the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.